Our church small groups aren't always the answer either. We discussed in the past few episodes ago that those groups are not full of people qualified to navigate divorce decisions. And I'll even double down. Since their depth of knowledge is closely aligned normally with their pastor's depth, well, they're not going to be much better at navigating post divorce than the pastor is. Although, obviously, they can certainly be welcoming and loving towards a crushed soul in a whirlwind that divorcees are sometimes in, for sure. But when they jump in with dating advice, attempts to reconcile, constant invites to church events, etc., it can become draining on those of us dealing with far bigger issues than church stuff. Statistics show that children are deeply affected by divorce. Don't believe the nonsense about kids being resilient. While we're going through unyoking, we are navigating some real issues of kids' mental health, power struggles with the ex, and boundary issues, co-parenting, lifestyle changing, possibly money issues. These are just broad stroke overviews of the issues we navigate. Do you think that somehow volunteering at church or making an easy casserole for the small group or coming and blowing up balloons for Vacation Bible School or name your other church volunteer needs is somehow a better use of our time than dealing with a crisis in our lives? A divorce is not just a decision and negotiating a settlement and moving out and getting on with our lives. The American church machine, with all its demands on volunteering and attending, is not a priority of people going through some real shit in their lives. It shines a light on the church's problem. And for those of us in a crisis, I mean, once again, imagine being a victim at a natural disaster and you're needing some real help, a place to sleep, food, water, maybe clothes, a ride to school the following week for your children, maybe even your utilities turned back on, or even the money to do so. And the Red Cross comes to you and asks you not just to volunteer, but maybe can you do a donation drive so we can all wear red shirts, or let's make sure this van looks great when we roll up on our next disaster. You would roll your eyes in disgust. Well, that's what we do as churches when we ask people in crisis to feed the busy church machine while they're in a crisis. It's just comical. If you like this content, then subscribe for even more resources, fun, laughter, and sound advice for Christians adventuring in unyoked living. Not just divorce recovery, but for brave men and women who are growing and going and living a life on mission. Blessings.